7:38. Let's keep it in the Zoom room. Switch gears here a little bit. Definitely not as controversial. Dave's like, all right, I'm glad I don't work at DLC. Woo! Department of Labor Director Dave Dell'Isola. Good morning, Dave.
Morning, Chris. Good morning, Sabrina. How you guys doing today?
We're doing pretty good. Pretty good. So there's some new PUA guidelines and stuff out?
Not really new. What we basically did was DOL since the beginning of the new year, and when they approved the reduced hours and they had eligibility criterias that they released that kind of clarified the rules. They basically released new guidances, and of course we have to take those guidances and takes a little bit of time, but program them into our system so that we can have them available for the claimants to see as their recovery efforts and their eligibility gets adjusted. So, instead of just having your businesses, was closed because of COVID, they recognized during the recovery that there are other instances that are eligible for PUA, and those are like if you're reduced hours. So there's a new criteria that's in that, that reflects the reduced hours, and that is I am an employee and my hours have been reduced, or I was laid off as a direct result of COVID. And what that says is that a business can be open and you still aren't back to work yet at that company, and you would still qualify, because in the old language, once a business reopens, then all those employees wouldn't be qualified. And so they clarified some of that, those languages, because you remember all this stuff was passed when we were in complete shutdown and COVID was new. So they've kind of updated with the times, and we updated it with it.
Any more fraud?
There's always a few things here and there, and they continue to develop. And as they develop, you will hear about them. So, it's not as rampant as in the States or anything, but we constantly get inquiries from the OIG from the States with names from U.S. fraudsters. And of course, we all continue to audit and look for local fraud. But, overall, it isn't anywhere as bad. But, we still have a few here and there. And, all we can do is do our due diligence and do the best that we can, and continue to just try to get the money out for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you know that we did batch the other night, Tuesday night, and it turned out to be $25.3 million was batched, which is a healthy sum of money. Of that, 12.9 million is in PUA, 12.3 million in FPUC, 108,000 in the Lost Wage Act, and there was 2.2 million taken out for taxes. So 25 million was batched last Tuesday night, and that's being processed, and hopefully will be out by beginning of next week. It'll hit the banks maybe before that, and checks will get out. So they're going to be quite busy down at DOA processing checks between the stimulus and my PUA. So, that's being processed down there.
Did you watch the congressman's press conference yesterday?
No, I didn't even know that he had one. I was just trying to get caught up with the news, in the paper. If I saw what he was saying, he's basically echoing what I've been telling everybody. And that is, September isn't too far away. And you got to taste, or the island got to taste what happened in December when, there was expiration of the original PUA program. And of course, Congress didn't pass the CAA Continuous Assistance Act until after the program expired, and that took a couple of weeks. So, that little bit of scare and stoppage of money hopefully is a lesson for the island to know that, September is only, is not that far away. And you don't want to wait until everybody runs out, and then you're going to run out there and try to look for jobs along with thousands of other people. Now's the time to start getting a job, start coming down to, make an appointment down at AJC. We are hoping that, the GCCs and the training providers up and started offering classroom certification classes. And we have monies available, not a lot, but several $1 million to retrain you, to upskill you for those who have been laid off because of COVID. And we would like to, first people, first come, first serve, and until the money runs out. And I would like to make sure that you get in there, get trained into there's heavy equipment operations, nursing assistants, medical code billing, construction, ship repair. There's a number of occupations that pay well that we can certify you, pay for that, and then you can get a change in career path that's pays well and pretty much is hopefully future-proof for you. And, or just go out there and get that job to hold you over until the tourism comes back. I mean, you're going to have to, face the reality that the assistance is not going to be forever. And when it runs out, you don't want to be without a job or any kind of income and, running around out there with thousands of other people. So, I'll just keep saying it. I'm glad to hear the congressman is saying that. And, same with our governor. She's saying that. And, we're trying to explore opportunities. And, if you're an entrepreneur, try to, there's GITA stuff that are available and start, explore entrepreneurial activities. But don't just sit around.
Dave, did you talk about the updated PUA eligibility criteria in Higher Guam? Did you talk about
that? I'm sorry. And I'm not sure what you mean.
GDOL announces implementation of updated PUA eligibility criteria in Higher Guam.
Yes.
You did talk about
Yes, that's what I was talking at initially.
Okay.
That we basically expanded the boxes. Every week, claimant has to file what happened the previous week, and they have to check off the boxes like one criteria that's big is this: I'm self-employed and I have experienced a significant reduction in services. That's a huge change for the island and clarity. So and this is only for the self-employed. It's totally different than an employee. An employee, it's all based on your regular hours worked. If you're back to full-time hours, then you're not qualified. If you're part-time and you're back to your regular part-time hours, you're no longer qualified. For a self-employed, you can be open and back to work and trying to make a living, but if there isn't any business and you're still suffering a significant reduction in income, then you can still qualify for PUA. And the example that I like to give is the example of a taxi driver going out there and driving all day down in Tumon and only getting 2 or 3 fares. And therefore, at the end of the week, he might have worked more hours than he's ever worked, but only made, 10-15% of what he normally makes. So he would still qualify. And then he would check that significant reduction in income. And so there's just a little bit more clarity of what you are eligible for. It's already hit the sites on Higher Guam. There's a link there. There's a big red banner that talks about it with a link that you can click to get better explanation as a claimant. and that's why it's all released. Um, so hopefully that makes it a little bit easier for those who, to check the appropriate box instead of trying to figure out which box it fits them. And hopefully that avoids any kind of misunderstanding or overpayments.
We just have a couple of questions here. My weekly certification showing in progress since March 20th till now. Do I need to call DOL?
Okay, March 20th. That I was hoping that with this last batch, a lot of that is corrected. And I know a lot of it has been corrected. This is during the transition. It's been quite a challenge to, especially those who exhausted. Those who haven't exhausted roll over to the new ARPA plan, the American Relief Plan Act, which is the Biden plan. Those who expired have there's a lot more difficulty in programming the base change in the system to recognize that expiration and to requalify them. And they are now being moved over to what's called an ARPA claim. So they have a totally new claim. I'd say anywhere from close to 90% got successfully shifted over. But whenever you're dealing with that kind of number of people, there's always going to be some glitches of some people who didn't get switched over. And unfortunately, this is not something that we can fix. This is a base change. And this is occurring also to the same in the states. A lot of the challenges that the states are having with the quick switch over. Remember, we've only had this plan enacted a couple weeks now, and they've been, our system provider has been working feverishly to try to get this done as quickly as possible. So we're reviewing the batch. So this person, if they're seeing that after today, that they're still in progress, they should have been switched over. And I know a lot of them have been, but we are getting an isolated few that did not switch over successfully. And we are working with it. We do have a call tomorrow with the system provider and the whole team of from GSO and to address and give us a little bit more idea of what's going on with the update and these base changes. And I will continuously, give you updates as we work through these things. So, we are aware of that there are some out there, and they will need to be continuously worked on. If they haven't been changed over, you're welcome to call us up or stop by the library. And unfortunately, my real advice is to be patient. And I know that kind of, isn't what you really want to hear, but it is a base change. It's not a change I can have my adjudicators go into the claim and say, okay, fixed. It's something that is needs to be done with the system programming that happens not only on Guam, but in about a half a dozen states that this company is doing. And they are working on it. I know that's a long answer. Sorry.
Well, I'm sure that person appreciates it.
Yeah, better than a short one.
Yeah.
Okay. Dave?
So this big switch over, you got to imagine, this was a huge change. And of course, it sounds simple to the claimant, oh, well, just, extend me. But behind the doors is a lot of programming and, and of course, there's millions and millions of people that this programmer is working for. And it just isn't as easy as just flipping a switch and extending them. It gets kind of complicated, and we're working as hard as we can with them to identify all these people that haven't been switched so that they can basically look at that situation and see if there's any to them so that they can do base changes that fixes, many people at the same time and not just one claim at a time.
Thank you for your time, Dave.
Anytime, guys. I appreciate you having and keeping the public informed.
Appreciate your role in that. Appreciate it. Okay. See you, Dave. Spend your money
Thank you,
wisely.
guy.
Got it.
And save your money.
Yeah. What did the congressman say? Be mindful that we cannot go out and do a lot of luxury purchases or feel good buying.